When you see two lovers facing each other like that, holding hands, about to commit their lives to one another, it is a beautiful sight to look on. And I want you all to do something. You know, we have those moments in life when someone will say to us, think a good thought. You're having a bad day or something's going on, think a good thought. Put a picture of this right here in your mind. This is a good thought. Because if you think of this when times are tough, you'll smile. You see those two looking at each other, they keep sighing.
I know.
We hold that marriage is supreme sharing of an experience and adventure in the most intimate of human relationships. It's the joyous union of two people whose camaraderie and mutual understanding has flowered into this thing we call romance. Today, Emily and Hugh proclaim their love not just to each other, but to the world at large, and we come here today to rejoice with them in this new life that they undertake together, soon to be husband and wife. Now, the joy we feel is a solemn joy because the act of marriage has many consequences, both social and personal. Marriage is a much better place when filled with love. And so I'm first going to ask them always, at the right moment, to choose love. When you don't have the right words to say to one another, say, I choose love, honey. When you seem to think that it's important to discover who is right or wrong, say, that doesn't matter, I choose love, honey. You can have right or wrong. I'll take love. You have kids and they're stressing you out to no end. Let that dirty diaper wait a moment and say, oh, I choose love. Come over here, honey. Stand next to me before I change that diaper. So always choose love. We might think that this thing called love that they have experienced is some rare or mystical event. But what they have found out, as many of us here have found, is that love is all around us. There's opportunities for love. It's about whether our hearts and our souls are in the right place. If we're ready, then we can reach out to those who love us and love them back. And then we get this. Two people who definitely want to spend their lives with each other. You think you chose well with this woman? 110%. You choose well with this guy? 120. So see, she says 120%, so we know how the rest of the marriage is going to go. She will always declare 10% more of her own. That's fine. We want to just mention a few names of those who couldn't be with us today. Emily's grandparents, Peggy and Bill Rogers Sr. Emily's grandparents on the other side, on the father's side, Jean and Marion Benz. Emily's uncle, Bill Rogers Jr. Emily's cousin, Chris Raynum. Hugh's grandparents, Edward and Shirley Veditz. Does someone have a tissue? Anybody have a tissue? Hugh's grandparents on the father's side, Hugh and Nanny Griffith. Hugh's cousin Tim Ferguson, and Hugh's friend Phil Hughes. Now, even though those individuals aren't here today, they really are represented here, especially those from the bloodline, because you two represent everything that they ever were. That is your tradition. That is from where you come from. You always want to think of those who can't be with you at important times like this. Now we want to talk about who is here. Who first loved this guy? Huh? There you go. She did. Look, I love it. You all helped him become who he is today. A proud man ready to announce to this woman that he will care for her. It's through your love and safety that you've given him all these years that helps him be who he is today and stand here. And I know everyone here today loves you all and honors you all for what you've done to help him be who he is today. Oh yeah, you guys had something to do with it, but it started here. This lovely woman. Who she is today is because how you all have held her from the first moments. Let her know when it was going to be safe to be with the right guy. You know? the way. And the other thing is you raised a woman. We live in a different day and age now. You raised a woman who is just fine without him and better with him. Y'all get that? Just fine without him, but just a whole lot better with him. And it's important because they both contribute to this love, to this marriage, to this household. The strength of both of them together. She's upstaged by the wandering flower girl. So we thank and honor you, parents and family, for all that you've done to help this couple be who they are and be standing here today. So before we get on with the rings and such, we want to just say a few words about love. What do we mean by love? What is this thing that we celebrate here with these two? Well, when you love someone as you two love each other, you see something deep beneath the surface that no one else can see. You understand each other in a way that nobody else could understand nor needs to. It's your marriage. You can do it your way. Right? You're always going to reach out to parents and everybody and say, hey, what did you do? If you want to know what mistakes they made, maybe you'll make the same one, who knows? But you reach out to those around you, but then you still call everything you do your own. You'll love each other in a certain way. Got a chorus back there. Now there's one person who had something to say about love. Ms. Elizabeth Browning said in her poem Songs in Portuguese, she says some things about love, but I'm going to point out a particular sentence. She says, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the height and breadth my soul can reach. When feeling out of sight for the ends of being an ideal grace, here's the line, folks. She says, I love thee by every day's most quiet need. That's a love affair. Every quiet need. You'll always know how this man feels by the way he closes the front door. That's how men communicate. And you'll always know how this woman feels by the way she breathes on the nape of your neck. Know what she's thinking. It's important for you two to know that in a love affair, words can often get in the way. When you sense that this woman needs you, just simply be near her and still. You love the presence, just his presence. Don't you love that? And when you sense he needs something, men and women come from different universes. It's not necessary that you know or understand, but doesn't it feel great when she's just near you? So be attentive to what she says. Loving every day's most need. And then the second line, she says, I love thee by sun and by candlelight. Does he hold your hand walking down the street? Okay. She said, yes, he does hold her hand, and I want them to do that for the next 50 years. Holding hands. Public display of affection. Because when we get to see them loving each other, it makes us feel better. Let's put a smile on our face for seeing you two love each other. And see, you'll never know when someone is struggling in their relationship or struggling in their marriage, and simply being in your presence, the way you love each other, the way you talk to each other, they'll go back to their lover and say, hey, let's do it better. Going on. I want to be more like them. Isn't that what you want to, isn't that the message you want to convey to the world around you? That they can have the kind of love and joy that you two have? Make that a part of what you do. And of course, the true art of married life is in the spiritual journey. I guess that none of us in this place today would totally 100% agree on what God is, if God exists, or anything else. We all have our own thoughts and ideas because our relationship with that which created us is very personal. And in a loving relationship like yours, it's great to explore that, never expecting each other ever to be in the same place, never expecting each other to have the same thought, but honoring where each of you are. Honey, that sounds interesting. Sounds nutty of the bugs, but it's interesting. And I love you for how you think and what you believe. That's lovers. That's lovers. Now, throughout this marriage, they're going to wear some rings that indicate the love they have for each other. Who has the rings today? Okay, stand right here, put the rings in your hand, and put them out so they can see them. Nope, the other one. They're going to wear them. I want them to see them. Now, these are the rings. These are the rings this couple will wear for the rest of their lives to symbolize the love that we celebrate today. Before I bless these rings, I'd ask that you always send your love and prayers along with these rings. I want that each time they reach up and touch that ring like we do sometimes, that not only will they think of the love they have for each other, they'll think of every one of you all here today. The memories of you are powerful, even of you guys, especially of you ladies. The memories of those who love us can get us through some of the most toughest moments. And in marriage, sometimes there's tough moments. That's the fact of life. It's about how you hold on and love each other through. God bless these rings, these circles and symbols, reminds of the stars, the earth, and the universe. Symbols of holiness, of peace, and perfection, that which has no beginning, no end. In this moment, God, we ask you to bless these rings. May they be symbols of unity, of joy, and of commitment. And grant that the love which each you have may now and always be as unending as these rings. Amen. You, I want you to take that ring and put it halfway on her finger. Put it in her house. What? Fine.
I love one of these things that every day I sit there and survive me. All I have is one person in this world that brings a smile to my face, fills my heart with love. Love to be able to spend the rest of my life with my love, soulmate, affection. I'll spend every day protecting, care, and treating you. Those are what you are. I love you forever. That's all.
How's that feel, Emily? Pretty good?
I take you to be my best friend, my faithful partner. I promise to encourage you and inspire you and to love you truly through good times and bad. I will forever be there to laugh with you, to lift you up when you are down, and love you unconditionally through all of our ventures.
So does that work for you, Hugh? Now what they've chosen for me to use as the closing reading here I think is important. It's a simple blessing. It's the Apache wedding blessing, and it represents really the essence of where they are going and what they will do in such a few words. Now you'll feel no rain, for each of you will be the shelter to the other. Now you'll feel no cold, for each of you will be the warmth to the other. Now there's no more loneliness, for each of you will be the companion of the other. Even though there are two bodies before me, there is only one life ahead of you. Go now to your dwelling place and enter into the days of your togetherness, and may your days be good and long upon this earth. Now, you all wish them well, yes?
Yes.
Wish them joy. Yeah. How you guys feel about this? Pretty good?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Ladies? Mom? Dad? Feel good? I want to say one last thing before I pronounce Miss Husband and Wife. when the explorers used to go off on a journey across an ocean, they would go to the king or queen and say, I want some money, I want to go explore. And the king or queen would say, what am I getting from my money? And they would have to stand there and talk about what they believed they would find at the destination. Which meant that when they got on the ship, it was not whether they would get there, it was always about when they would get there. But when the seas got high, they didn't have the luxury to step off for a minute. Things got tough, they strapped themselves to each other, and they rode it out. And after the turmoil was over, they would sit in the sun and thank God that they got through it and that they had another day in the journey to go. I want the two of you to do this within your marriage. Often speak of what you will say to each other on your 40th wedding anniversary and on your 50th wedding anniversary. Never make it about whether we get there. Always make it about when we get there, this is what we're going to say. This is what we're going to do. So the decision we make here today and the way I speak to you today will paint that picture for us in the future. Keeps you on point. It really does. So, on behalf of everyone who's here today, the love of your parents, of the ladies here, the men over here, those who could not be with us, and with all the joy that's in your heart, it gives me pleasure to announce that you are now husband and wife, and if this lovely woman will allow, you may kiss her.
Yay! Yay!
Patience in life. Patience is a virtue. You just stand there and look beautiful for the camera.
Very nice.
All right, give another hand.
Woo! Yeah!
Oh, wow.
Oh, really? Yeah. I know, really.